Okay, Yariv, you hear the question? Yariv, you listening? This is the question that everyone asks this time of year and this year. Mi shenolad be'adar b'shana ragila. Someone who was born in Adar of a normal year, not a leap year. Be'ashana shemali'u lo shalosh shana, hi shana me'overet. And his bar mitzvah comes out in a leap year. Hayim nechshav the bar mitzvah be'adar aleph. Is his bar mitzvah in Adar aleph? Or be'adar bet, or in Adar bet, the second Adar. Second question. וכן, מהו הדין לנוהגים להתענות ולעשות לימוד מיוחד ביום שבעה באדר? האם יתענו באדר א' או באדר ב'? People that have the custom to do ta'anit or limud, they fast or they do a special reading from Moshe Rabbeinu's yortzeit, which is Adar, 7 Adar, which passed already. 7 Adar Aleph was Friday. Should they do it on Adar Aleph, the first Adar, or Adar Bet, the second Adar? And then the same question would be, what about a yortzeit for a regular parent? Which Adar should it go in? Teshuvah. Rabbeinu Yehuda Mintz b'teshuvah katav. Rabbi Yehuda Mintz writes, Mi shenolad b'Adar v'na'asa b'mitzvah b'shana me'overet. Someone who was born in a regular Adar and his 13th year of life is a leap year. Why is Adar always the leap month? Nehemiah. Why is Adar always the leap month? Why is it not 2 Tammuz? It's a Hasidic answer. I think the Sfat Emet says this. He says you should have double 60 days of Simcha. The answer is because Aviv, because you have to make sure Pesach is always Rosh Aviv, always. So the month right before is the last chance to see where is spring coming or not, so they can make into now we have a set calendar. But in the old days, they would make a Adar Me'oved. If it looked like Pesach was not going to be in spring, we're gonna, yeah, that's a good one. So that's why Adar is always the leap month. Very simple. Okay, he writes, "Eno na'asar bar mitzvah al Adar hasheni." Rabbi Yehuda Mintz writes, the bar mitzvah would be in the second Adar, not the first Adar. V'chen pasak harama behagaha. And the Ramah, Ramesh Islis writes the same thing. There's a Gemara in Nida, I think you know this, Nehemiah, for sure. There's a Gemara in Nida that says if a girl, turns bat mitzvah in Adar Aleph, and then decide last minute to make it a leap month, does she revert back to being a minor? You know this Gemara? And so, Uncle Jack, you familiar with this one? If an 11-year-old girl turns 12 in Adar Aleph, so she's a major, is that what you call it? She's an adult, and then they make it a leap year. So she's no longer a major. So what happens? And so some of the rabbis want to say, Hashem listens to us. And so whatever physical maturity she got is going to have to reverse and go back and come back when it's done. Okay. Ve'omnam, Hagaon Ma'arash Halevi B'tshuva writes, Shena'asa b'mitzvah b'adar rishon. There are people who hold the bar mitzvah should be in the first Adar. Ulam kavad dahao l'nachon ha'pri hadash. The Pri Hadash says, nah, it's not true. It's not the first Adar. Ve'uchiach medivei Yerushalmi, he quotes the words of the Yerushalmi, She'adar rishon hu tosefet shel hashana. The extra leap year, the extra leap month is the first month of Adar, not the second one. The Adar Sheni, who Chodesh Adar Ha'ikari, but the second Adar is the real Adar. If you think about it, it's kind of interesting. If you ever do Tefillat Tashlumin, if you ever slept in, let's say for Shachrit, in the morning you slept in and you missed Shachrit, so you got to pray 2 minhas. Now you pray 2 amidas. Which amidah is Shachrit? Which amidah is minha? The first is minha, and the second is the makeup. The second is always the makeup. But when he says when it comes to the calendar, the first is the makeup. The first is the extra. The second is the ikad. It's the opposite of tashlumi. Interesting. Why? And agreeing with this is the Maran Hida. The Hida agrees, and Rabbi Haim Palaji in the Kafa Haim, and the Sefer Bet Shalamo, and this by the Rabbi Hagaon Abi Yosef Haim Ivavel, the Ben Ish Hai, also says this, that Adar Aleph is the extra. Adar Bet is the ikar. V'chein Peshat HaMenhag. This is the Menhag in Klal Yisrael. V'chein ikar lehalakha. That's the halakha. V'chein he'eleh harishon l'Zion, Rabbi Uziel, that the Adar Sheni is the Min Adar. However, ובדבר הנוהגים להתענות בשבע, so bar mitzvah is done. Hacham easily answers the bar mitzvah answer. If you're born in a normal year, your bar mitzvah is in Adar Bet. Finished, not Adar. ובדבר הנוהגים להתענות, I'm thinking in my head, I don't know, because I've had such wacky stories with bar mitzvah students. I can't tell you, I've had so many bar mitzvah students where they're already come to me from another guy who was teaching them, and they're studying the wrong parasha.
Oh.
It happens so many times. He's on an Israeli calendar. I'm trying to think if this ever happened that he was teaching them the Adar Aleph parasha. I'm not sure. Yeah, I've had students that come and they were never told they can't. For some reason, we have bar mitzvahs here. We have a lot of bar mitzvahs in our shul from people that don't come to our shul. I don't know why. So sometimes they come like 3 days before the bar mitzvah, and they want to like meet with me, and I should plan it with them. And I just met the kid. I don't know anything. Somebody else thought. And so I'm like, okay, so Thursday when you read, you know you're gonna chop it. He's like, chop what? They were never told. And then on Thursday it's a chop. I don't know if this ever happened to me, but I know for sure I had a kid studying the wrong parasha, 100% based on the Israeli calendar. That's for sure. Anyway, bar mitzvah goes to the second month. Now we're gonna move on to Yortzites and Zayin Adar from Moshe Rabbeinu. This custom that some people have, to fast on Zayin Adar, Shehu Yom Petilat Moshe Rabbeinu, which is the Yortzeit of Moshe Rabbeinu, Al Pi HaMivurah b'Shulchan Aruch, which it mentions in Shulchan Aruch Siman 580. You don't have to though; it's not mandatory. Hayim it'anu be'Adar Aleph or be'Adar Bet. Which Adar should someone fast in? In the Yalkut Shimoni, which is a midrash, Nehleku Tenaim Bidbar. Listen to this; it's interesting. You could like this. Nehleku Tenaim Bidbar Zaman Petilat Moshe Rabbeinu Alav Shalom. It's a mahloket when he died. It's not universal that Moshe Rabbeinu died exactly on the same day. Rabbi Eliezer Hamudai holds he was born. No, he died on Zayin Adar Aleph. He holds it was a leap year when Moshe Rabbeinu died, and he died on Zayin Adar Aleph, the first month. If someone dies on Zayin Adar Aleph, that's their Yortzeit. So 35 years later, if it's a leap year, his Yortzeit's going to be on Adar Aleph, not like all the other Yortzeits, which is Adar Bet. Rabbi Eliezer Omer, he didn't die on Zayin Adar Aleph. He died on Zayin Shvat.
Oh.
Rabbi Yehoshua says, no, he died on Zayin. I'm scared to say anything. Adar regular. It's a mahloket. Yeah, it's a mahloket. They don't know. It's a whole month apart. And he actually a 2-month gap. Because he would hold, not. One holds he died on a Zayin Adar of a normal year. One holds he died on Zayin Adar Aleph of a leap year. One holds Zayin Shvat, and we'll give you another shot in a second. The halakha could be Yehoshua. The halakha follows Rabbi Yehoshua that he died on a regular Zayin Adar, not a leap year. How do you know this? If you look at Gemara Kiddushin, the Gemara Kiddushin, page 38, is talking about how many days they ate the man, because it says they consumed the man until they came into the land of Israel. So the Gemara Kiddushin says, well, when did the man stop? And so it counts backwards, and it says over there it was 33 days from the death of Moshe Rabbeinu. And so if you look at the Gemara Kiddushin, page 38, on 10 Nisan, they went across the Jordan River. So on 10 Nisan, there was no more man. Now it's the big leagues, no more free food. You got to make your own food. So on 10 Nisan, they crossed the Jordan River and they had their own food, no more man. So if you subtract all the way back to Zayin Adar, regular Adar, it's 33 days. Even if you want to say he died on a leap year, maybe he did die in a leap year, which would be a 4th shot. It would have to be in the second Adar of the leap year, because it's 33 days. If he died on that Adar Aleph of the leap year, that would be 63 days. And the Gemara says it was 33 days. Is it too complicated? So it's now 4 pshatim, 4 opinions of when Moshe Rabbeinu died. 7 Adar regular, 7 Adar Aleph, 7 Adar Bet, 7 Shvat. Ulfizi, according to this, Hanuagim Anot Biyom Pitilat Moshe Rabbeinu, those who want to fast on the your side of Moshe Rabbeinu, Anu B'Zayin Adar Bet, they should fast on Zayin Adar Bet, which is 33 days before 10 of Nisan, which follows the Gemara. However, in the Teshuvot of the Maharil, it says, Anu B'Zayin Adar Aleph, that you should fast on the first Adar. He says, according to this, someone whose parent passed away on Adar, he says you should follow Adar Aleph for regular yortzites. Agreeing with this is the Tirumat addition and the Ramah Isulis, if you look in the Siman 568. However, the Mahariyah holds that we should follow the second Adar and not the first Adar for all yortzites, for parents. Maran Bet Yosef says this is the right thing to do, that we should follow the second Adar. Agreeing with this is the Hatam Sofer, Hacham Svi, Rabbi David Pardo, Vayan Yitzhak. All the rabbis agree that it's Adar Bet. The Rabbi Yabetz always argues on the mainstream, like I find always. Even though Hagaon Yabetz says, if you look at Gemara Sotah, Gemara Kiddushin is talking about when he died. Gemara Sotah, page 12, talks about when he was born, when he was found in the basket. If you look at Gemara Sotah, it says, according to one opinion in this Gemara, that he was born in a leap year on the first Adar, the Gemara Sotah says. According to one opinion, not universal in that Gemara. Mistar Belomar, if you hold like that Gemara Sotah, that he was born in Zayin Adar of Adar Aleph of a leap year, then when he died, he probably also died on Adar Aleph, because he said, today my days are filled, exactly. Hayom. Hayom. I am today 120, which is exact. And so if Hashem wanted to make an exact match, he would have also died Adar Aleph of a leap year. It's a good question. However, Hakam pushes it off and says, no, it's a good point, but no. It doesn't matter. Hashem would have taken him anyway on Adar Bet, because the Adar Shiniya we hold as the Ikar. So Mordechai, you ready for the pop quiz? When was Moshe Rabbeinu born? Friday? Zayin Adar, was it a regular year? If it was a leap year, was it Adar Aleph or Adar Bet? Whatever. Should we talk about his death? So the Gemara and Sotah suggests there was a leap year. He was born in a leap year. Yeah. Okay. Says Ulam. This Yabetz, which is an interesting thought, that since he was born on Adar Aleph, maybe he was also Adar Aleph in a Mukhrah. Doesn't make sense. We go by the other Gemara Kiddushin. It was 33 days. We know for sure it was 33 days from his death until they crossed the Jordan, which means it was Adar regular or is Adar Bet. It's definitely not Adar Aleph. It's impossible. How could you say he died Adar Aleph? For sure, Zayin Shvat. How could you say he died Zayin Shvat? If it says straight on the Gemara that 33 days after his death, they crossed the Jordan, which is on 10 Nisan. Doesn't add up. Okay. And furthermore, this that we say that tzaddikim, righteous people, they live exactly, they die on their birthdays. It still makes sense that he would live until Adar Bet, even if he was born in Adar Aleph. Therefore, we should follow the second Adar from Moshe and for any other yortzites. Ve'afa ya'abetz hazar bo. Even the Abetz retracted what he said, and pasak b'siduro, and when he made his sidur, he wrote, sheyesh leit'anot be'adar sheni. You should fast for Moshe Rabbeinu on the second Adar, like his father, the Hakam Svi. Okay, even if you do something for your father, you want to do azkara, you want to do learning, you want to do berachot for your father or your mother who passed away, you should do it in Adar Bet, not in Adar Aleph. Ela in ken niftar aviv be'adar Aleph, b'shana me'overet. Unless the person actually passed away in a leap year, which is rare, on the first Adar, which is even more rare. Then, if that happened, yesh la'asot ha'azkara be'adar Aleph. Then you have to follow Adar Aleph. So, in summary, if someone passed away in a normal year, their azkara, yortzeit, is an Adar Bet. If someone was born in a normal year, their bar mitzvah is an Adar Bet. If they happened to have been passed away in a leap year, in Adar Aleph, that's the only time we'll commemorate them in Adar Aleph. Summary. Hanolad b'chodesh Adar b'shana peshuta. If someone is born in a normal year in Adar, not a leap year, elo na'asa bar mitzvah, elo be'adar sheni. His bar mitzvah is in Adar Bet of the leap year. Ve'hanolad be'adar Aleph b'shana me'overet. But a boy is born in Adar Aleph of the leap year, his bar mitzvah is in Adar Aleph. It goes by his birth. And regarding fasting for limud of Moshe Rabbeinu's yortzeit, which is 7 Adar, yesh la'asokim be'adar Bet. If you want to celebrate Moshe Rabbeinu's yortzeit, do it in the 2nd Adar. And this applies to the azkara and the limud she'osim gam li'elu nishmat hahorim. Also for parents. It should all be in the 2nd Adar, because the 2nd Adar is Chodesh Adar Ha'ikari, is the main Adar, and the Adar Aleph, the month that we're in right now, is a Tosefet, the Shana Me'overet. It's the extra month. His son was born in Adar Aleph. So there you go. That's rare, very rare. Yeah, March 6th, I think, or something. It's rare that he's born in Adar Aleph. I guess I don't know how the calendar works out. Does 13 years later always fall out also a leap year? I don't know. He's born in Adar Aleph, and his bar mitzvah is also in a leap year. So it'll follow Adar. Abal. Even if Adar Aleph, if someone's parent or loved one passed away in a leap year in the 1st Adar, yesh la'asot ha'azkara be'adar Aleph, then the yortzeit would also be in the 1st Adar. Interesting. That Moshe Rabbeinu stuff is fascinating. Okay, very interesting. Okay, let's do the next few.
How long between